So in my previous video, we talked about Jake Paul and how he was attending these lootings and everything that was going on right now in Arizona. And he was in a mall that was being looted. We saw Jake get handed a bottle of vodka that someone stole and looted from a store. Now, since then, as I addressed in my first video, Jake Paul did respond on Twitter. However, now he has made a video responding, and we also have more updates, so I thought we'd make a video covering all of this. Firstly, I'm going to go through his video and see what he has to say. So let's check out his video titled "The Looting Situation Explained. Deleting soon." You know it's going to be a good video when the comments are turned off and the like and dislike ratio is also turned off, so no one can give him any criticism. YouTubers doing this is the equivalent to kids putting their fingers in their ears and going la 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 la. So Jake Paul describes what was happening and kind of why he was there.
Heard that there was protests that were going to be taking place in Arizona. We wanted to be involved and show our support. The story of what happened is actually pretty simple, and it was twisted and exploited by the media to be something that it wasn't. Right around 10 p.m. when the protests were supposed to be starting, we followed people to where everyone said that the protests were happening. As we started to walk down the street, we were blown away by what we were starting to see.
He says he was there for the peaceful protest, and then this all transpired around him, and it was basically a result of him being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And as I started to walk down the street more, all of a sudden out of nowhere I hear a boom and see this thing flying in the air at my feet. It lands 2 feet away from me, explodes, and like this big gas cloud comes, hits me in the side of the face. I start choking, coughing, running backwards, and was completely in shock at what the fuck had just happened.
Now, I can see how someone can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but to be there, linger around, hang out with Tanner Fox and the crew as if it's fun, making it seem worse for everyone else. You're a big celebrity, Jake. You're worldwide, you're known across the world. Do you not think in your head, maybe I should remove myself from this situation because, one, I'm not doing it any good. I'm amongst people who are looting, people who are breaking the law, people who are skewing the message behind these protests for their own personal gain. You're walking alongside them, hanging out with them. You say you want to film this for America and that America needs to see this and spread awareness.
Being a filmmaker and someone who documents virtually everything that happens in my life to be able to share it with the world, I wanted to use my platform and film what was going on and what is going on in our country as we speak to be able to share and spread the message to the world and raise awareness that we shouldn't just be standing there doing nothing.
Jake, everywhere I've seen, the American news stations, American journalists, people have been covering this. All you have got from it is content and footage that people would want to see you in because you want to put yourself in the center of it, in the center of attention. Blog footage of you amongst a riot for content would obviously, to anyone, people would know that would get a lot of views. And obviously you knew it too, Jake. Jake pretends and tries to do nice things, but his motive behind it is never genuine, it is never sincere. Let's continue.
As I started to retreat, there was 3 more canisters of tear gas shot at me and the group of people around us. At that point in time, not only was I pissed, not only was I in shock and not able to really see because my eyes were up, but I just didn't know what the fuck to do, and I was documenting the whole entire thing.
Why not just get out of that situation where there's people clearly breaking the law? What do you mean you don't know what to do? I'm sure you could have got out of the carnage, but no, Jake Paul, it's content. It's great, exciting footage for him to vlog, for him to show everyone. That is what it is. That is the main thing driving him. Just look at Jake's previous. Look at the way he's handled other sensitive issues, other topics. He's used it for his own gain, for his own content. There is nothing Jake Paul won't turn into content. This is the man who used false allegations against FaZe Banks for content.
Adrenaline's still pumping, not knowing what the fuck is going on. I remove myself from that situation and go across the street. This is where I find about 15 people breaking down the front of a P.F. Chang's store. And this is one of the most absurd things I have ever seen in my fucking life. Some kid came up to me and asked me if I needed a first aid kit and offered me milk to pour into my eyes to help with the tear gas. Another girl's breaking down the front of the store. People are inside of it, trashing it, stealing stuff from the inside. Meanwhile, throughout this chaos, half the group that we were with got separated and we were trying to locate them and find them. During all this confusion, chaos, sensory overload, sirens, things exploding, someone comes up to me while I'm filming, just hands me something. I didn't even know what it was at the time, to later find out that someone handed me a bottle of vodka. For what reason, I don't know. Seconds later, I set the bottle on the ground, still not even knowing what it is, and I continue to document what the fuck was going on.
Sensory overload, guys. All this sensory overload made me stick around during the people looting and grabbing the bottle of vodka. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the clip, you can hear one of Jake's hooligans say, "Grab Jake a bottle of vodka." Oh my God. And when Jake takes the vodka, he's not filming.
Getting crazy. Oh.
Someone didn't hand it to you while you're filming, you just took it. You took the vodka and slyly held it down your side. I don't think you put it down straight away as you claim, because if you did, why don't you show us the footage of you putting it down?
To find out that someone handed me a bottle of vodka for what reason, I don't know. Seconds later, I set the bottle on the ground, still not even knowing what it is, and I continue to document what the fuck was going on.
Surely there's footage, if you're filming, of you putting the vodka bottle down and leaving it and going, no, I don't want this. All we've seen is you take it. Where's the footage of the seconds later? If you're documenting what's happening, where's the footage of you putting down the vodka? Something that was looted from a store that we could hear one of your hooligans say to grab for you, and your cameraman took. And this is the problem, Jake. You say you weren't participating in it. You were there filming it, loving the chaos, even some of your crew egging it on and participating. Such a moronic, idiotic thing to do, but you still got a few more things to say, so we gotta hear this out.
At that point in time, we decided to remove ourselves from the chaos and make our way back towards our car to go home. However, the police had dozens and dozens of officers on each street corner, blocking off certain streets and not allowing people to go down certain areas. After about a half a mile of walking, we see another battalion of cops and decide to go right, away from them and towards the mall.
Why are you saying all this? You've documented it. You've literally been banging on about how you documented it. Show us. Show us as proof that you were blocked off, that you weren't able to get away to your car, you weren't able to go round these battalions.
As we approach the mall, I see one of the most absurd things I've ever seen in my life. Hundreds of people running in and outside of the mall with bags, stealing everything inside of the mall. In hindsight, everything's 2020, and we shouldn't have been anywhere near what was going on, and we should have removed ourselves from the situation. But in the heat of the moment, I wanted to document what was going on and witness it for myself. And that's where I made the poor decision to go inside of the mall.
So you see people stealing shit from a mall, a crime scene, where people are looting businesses. You see it from outside the mall, and then you decide to go into the mall. Are you brain dead? I don't understand, Jake Paul. I don't understand any of the decisions. And I'm really glad. I think if anyone relates or understands the way this man's brain works, then you must be similar to him, and that's just definitely not a good thing. Why would you see that and go towards it?
I wanted to document what was going on and witness it for myself.
Well, don't get mad at people criticizing you for that behavior and turn off comments and likes. That is what people are saying. You were actively participating. You were watching it and seeing it for your own eyes. You weren't doing anything to help. You were filming it for your own content until this backlash happened. If none of this happened, there would be a vlog from Jake Paul of all this looting, guaranteed. If he got no backlash, if no one knew about this, he would have posted that vlog.
At the time, my mindset was that I wanted to document this experience because I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I don't know if anything will ever happen like this again in our lifetime.
Yeah, oh, he's never going to see anything like it again in his life, so yeah, he should definitely get amongst it. You're not a journalist. You're not a news station. You're a fucking YouTube vlogger. Why can't you get that in your head? Why don't you use your platform like your brother's done? Logan, in fact, has been great throughout all of this.
Listen closely. One of my biggest learnings from all of this, and I'm embarrassed that it's taken me 25 years to realize this. It is not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Yes.
Condemn those who feign superiority because of the color of their skin. Friends, hold friends accountable. Hold your family accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, we must hold our authorities accountable. Police officers, politicians, policymakers. As Killer Mike said, bully the politicians at the voting booth. Make your voice heard. Attend a protest. Speak up against injustice.
And to even ridicule Jake for his actions.
As we know, he was seen at a looting site, apparently. He was in Arizona. And to be honest, I love him. I will always love him, but I don't always like him. He's my brother. He's my family. He's my blood. Sometimes I do not understand why he does the things he does, as I'm sure he feels the same way about me from time to time. Why he was inside of a mall that was being looted, I have no idea. Unfortunate, it's also very on brand for Jake Paul to magically be seen at a looting site.
Like I said in my last video, Logan is actually maturing and actually learning from mistakes. Jake Paul, time and time and time and time and time again, has made so many mistakes, has done so many things wrong, and has never learned from it, never grown from it. Ever since Logan Paul's incident, we have all seen his change. We've seen him grow, and people have actually come to respect Logan again. There's a reason people don't respect you, Jake. There's a reason people still don't like you, because you haven't changed. You're still a piece of shit.
There are certain situations and circumstances that I shouldn't put myself in, and I have learned from this situation.
I don't believe for a second he's learned from his situation at all.
I will continue to become a better person. All you can do when you make mistakes as a human is get better from them.
Which you haven't done. Jake, you've never done that. Anyway, so since this video's been aired, we now have an update on Jake Paul. Online influencer Jake Paul charged after Scottsdale looting. Social media influencer and YouTuber Jake Paul has been charged by police in Scottsdale after allegedly participating in weekend looting and riots. Police said Thursday that 23-year-old Jake Joseph Paul was identified as being present among hundreds of tips and videos sent to officials. He reportedly unlawfully entered and remained inside Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall when it was closed. Officials say Paul, who was a large following on YouTube, was present after the protest, was declared an unlawful assembly, and the rioters were ordered to leave the area by the police. Paul has been charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly, both misdemeanor charges. Police say he was issued a summons to appear in court in a month, but was not arrested. When asked if any other members of Paul's team were with him at the time, were also facing charges, a spokesperson for Scottsdale Police responded, not of this time. One thing I do agree with Jake Paul on is that we should be directing our energy to the Black Lives Matter movement, to George Floyd. Below in the description, I am going to list a great link which will give you a ton of ways to donate, loads of petitions to sign, which I myself have also signed, things that you can do to help. I'm also going to link Campaign Zero, which for the majority of my audience who are American, lists ways and policies to combat police brutality in America and ways you can get your voice heard and actually make a change in America. I've looked through these links myself. This isn't just me plugging random links. I've looked through these. I've done my research. I've educated myself on this issue because I need to educate myself, as we all do, to make sure that we help in the most effective way possible. I urge you guys to click them links. I urge you guys to sign petitions. I urge you guys to help, because now is the time for change. But yeah, that is it for this video. Please check out the links down below. Please. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. And until next time, fuck off.